All right, man. So I was seeing something about this yesterday that there was a couple of shootings, in various places in the United States. This is one here where they have Louisiana father fatally shoots 7 of his children plus another child. Police say I haven't checked the story out here, so let's see what happened here. Let's see.
Listening in there to community members talk about this tragedy that unfolded in the early morning hours there in Shreveport, Louisiana. We're following the latest, and we now have the identity of the individual responsible for this, as we're talking about 8 young children losing their lives between the age of 1 and 14. I want to put this up here from the New York Post, as they have identified Shreveport gunmen who murdered 8 kids as Army veteran Shamar Elkins, who shared a post of daughter just hours before this incident early Sunday morning. And these are some of the images on the ground there. As you can see, a makeshift memorial, flowers in place outside of this home. We do know that some of these kids, they belonged to this individual, this Army veteran Shamar Elkins. We did hear an update from law enforcement, police there in Louisiana, providing an update. Any more information they can provide about a truly horrific scene in Louisiana.
What do you guys know? What's the latest updates?
So the latest update right now is we can confirm the suspect in these 8 homicides is Shamar Elkins. He is believed to be the man responsible for this heinous act. I can tell you that 7 of the 8 children that were killed are believed to be his children. We are still working to determine a complete motive and understanding as to why this happened, but it is domestic in nature. The mother of the children was also shot and had very serious injuries, although we are hopeful she will recover. There's another female that was in this residence that has life-threatening injuries. We are hopeful that she will pull through, and right now we are still working to come up with an exact motive as to what led to this. But we do,
Sucks, bro. I mean, this is what I can't imagine working for. These officer guys and that have to go into these scenes and see these things and stuff, and I hope that there's help for them. That there's, after something like this happened yesterday, I believe. But I hope that, within their department in Louisiana, there's something that, counsels them, right? Some therapist or something like, hey, we understand that you were at the crime scene when, you were in the investigation scene, you were part of the investigation process. You saw things there when you arrived on scene, right? Because it affects people, man. And I don't know what being an Army vet has to do with this. I don't know why that's a thing, right? Why is that a thing? That doesn't make any sense. It'd be like, Walmart employee, Home Depot employee, janitor at school, or librarian and then you do this in your own house. It doesn't make any sense. Why are they attaching that to this here? Army vet. There's you gotta pay attention to the motives of media and stuff, bro. It's kind of odd, isn't it? Let's just attach titles here. Why not just father of 7 children or whatever? No, Army vet. It's kind of odd.
We really want to thank the neighboring agencies for their assistance in this case.
And as far as the woman who was shot, both women who were shot, they were shot at a different location, correct? And they came here?
One was shot at a different location. We believe the other was here as well. And then she actually fled from this location to an adjacent house and called 911 from there. That and a 13-year-old child who had also fled from this residence.
Okay, so the 13-year-old child who jumped off the roof, you were saying, what is his condition? Is it any injuries?
He had some injuries, some broken bones, but however, we do expect him to recover. We're just very thankful he was able to get away.
And is he the child of the suspect or no?
I don't believe so.
Okay, and the 2 women, they're expected to be okay as well?
We're hopeful. They do have very serious and significant injuries. One of them is still in life-threatening condition, but we are hopeful that they will survive.
And as far as the wife, those kids were all her kids, or what do you guys know about that?
I believe so, yes. All of the children, 7 of the children are her children. The identity of the 8th child, I believe, was the other woman that was fleeing off the roof. So we have multiple families that are affected, So we're doing the best we can. We'll come up with, when we can identify whose family members or what, we will do that.
So 7 out of the 8 were both the wife and the suspect's children, is that correct?
That is my understanding at this time.
Okay, gotcha.
Would you happen to know what is like the connection with the other house then? And, like, did she live there or why was she there?
I don't know the specifics. I do believe that he was at that location and she had responded there. So I'm not really sure as to what led up to that, and that's what we're working to determine. And, you know, when we have a clear picture of how everything is related, we will address that.
Yeah. And as far as him going carjacking and going to Bossier City, where did that happen?
So the carjacking occurred actually just down the road at West 79th and Linwood. At that time, he produced a rifle, and an individual whose car was taken, and then officers located that car very quickly and proceeded to chase it into Bossier Parish.
Borderline, when it comes to killings, you don't want anyone to die, let alone kids. That's really rough. It's a sad day in Shreveport. What message do you have for people who live here, for the community?
Well, I mean, this is a horrible act of violence, unlike anything we've ever seen in our city. This whole community is hurting, and as police officers, we want to do what we can to support our community. But our officers are hurting. You know, the officers that responded in this scene, every one of them, including Chief Smith, we've never seen anything like this. This amount of evil violence that happened, and that's what it is, it's evil, is something that's disturbing, and it's going to take a long time for this community to recover.
Just so we'll go ahead and have it, won't be for today. Y'all immediately activated the peer unit?
Yes. Well, so anytime that we have anything that's catastrophic like this, or something that's obviously going to have some elements that officers are going to have lasting effects on it. Anytime we have anything with dead children, we have a peer unit. They are trained in dealing with critical incidents like this. Now, we activated our peer unit, but just truthfully speaking, they've never seen anything like this. And if you look across our country, there's not many places that have. So, they're doing the best they can. But, first and foremost, we have an investigation to do. We had a scene to secure. We had individuals that needed, these victims, we have to do right by them and justify what happened here, and try to come up with some answers for our community and for those victims and for those families. So first and foremost is we have a job to do, and we'll take care of ourselves.
Here it is on the bottom. Near University of shit. What's happening, bro? What is this crap? A lot of stuff happened yesterday, huh? I'm not, I'm not laughing at it. I'm not just like, that's not. It's just crazy. I'm shocked that this has been happening. Over the past couple of days here. You never want to see something like this happen in your community, man. What happened to the guy, right? The Army vet, right? I don't know why they have to put that in there. I want to know what would happen. Why would you do this? It's crazy. Those are your kids, man. What the hell? What the hell happened here?
So we have the opportunity.
I think that's all we got for her. Thank you so much.
All right, police, they're providing an update on this very grim scene, calling this a heinous act, and they also have confirmed the identity of who they believe is the gunman as Shamar Elkins. As they said, 7 of the 8 children tragically killed in this incident were his. This a live picture on the ground in Shreveport, Louisiana, as the community continues to try to come to grips with this. As they said, they identified him as Shamar Elkins. He died after a chase with officers who fired at the suspect. Elkins stole a car while leaving the scene of the shootings and was followed by police. So tragically, those 8 young children between the age of 1 and 14 losing their lives. 2 other individuals injured, potentially life-threatening injuries for 2 women, one of being the mother to some of those kids. So they're holding out hope that they will be able to recover. As they fled the scene, one of the women called 911 alongside a 13-year-old boy. They were unsure of the connection there, but a very sad story here on Live Now from Fox that we're following since early this morning. And as you can see from the New York Post, the Shreveport gunman identified as an Army veteran. He shared a post of his daughter hours before this tragic incident.
What a crazy bastard, bro. Honestly, sharing a post like this that guy knew what he was gonna be doing, bro. Let's look at the comments here real quick. Let's see what they have to say. I cannot fathom the depths of what it takes to. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, and especially if they're your own, any children, man. Crazy ass bastard. I wonder if he intended for the mother to survive just so she would have to live with the pain. What a monster. Who knows, bro? That poor mother. Rest in peace, sweet babies. Yeah, man. I wouldn't want to survive. I can't imagine living after all my children had been killed. Prayers to all the families and for the first responders. Honestly, man. He's 31 and made 7 kids. This is going to be a sad, sad review. Rest in peace, sweet children. God bless the families and first responders. Please protect all children from such horrible adults. What happened here, bro? Why did this guy flip? How did he flip? This is beyond evil, just insane. This is a sad story here, man. Hopefully they're able to find some kind of motive to try to understand what happened here. Maybe he was drugged. Maybe he did some kind of drug. Maybe the autopsy will reveal, right? Maybe they'll do some kind of a drug test panel, something. I don't know. Under the influence, and he did this stuff. He just lost it. I have no idea what happened here, but I'll be keeping a close eye to this story. There's other stuff that happened too, so we'll need to check that out. And I'm now just hearing that there was a 7.4 earthquake in Japan, so I might have to check that also just to see what's going on. Apparently, there's a tsunami heading over there. I don't know. So it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. A bunch of news events happening all at once. People like Shamar Elkins. What did you do, man? What did you do? But let me know what you think in the comments. Of this sad story. I don't know what else to say about it, man. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm upset that this happened. Why don't you try that with adults? Why didn't you try that with adults, huh? Not the women. Why don't you go to a bar? Try that with other men. In the VFW, why don't you try that there? Right, you're supposedly an army vet, right? Weak ass man. You guys know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, follow, repost, all of that good stuff. And I will see you all in the next one, man. Peace.